Today I will show you how to get this really cool, nice, moody look in your photos. So let's start. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another really fun episode. This will be more like a Lightroom tutorial because I will show you how to get this nice, dark, moody look using a Lightroom, but you can do exactly the same thing using a Photoshop too. For all you guys who don't know, Lightroom and Photoshop are using exactly the same Camera Raw engine, so if you're using the same version of Camera Raw, you can do exactly the same things both in Photoshop and Lightroom. In Photoshop you need to go to Camera Raw, in Lightroom just use the Camera Raw that is already there. Alright, let's jump straight in Lightroom and let the fun begin. Alright guys, today I will use this photo to achieve that nice dark moody look, but you can use any photo that you like. Only thing what is important is to understand the principles behind this tutorial, so don't just copy my settings, try to understand why I'm doing this, what I'm doing, so you will be able to do that on any photo that you like, because today I will be dealing with more greenish, yellowish tones, but maybe you will have more reddish, purplish or whatever tones, so you need to shift those colors a bit. So first thing that I like to do here, because I want to create dark moody look, I need to make this photo a little bit darker, and for that I'll use exposure slider and move it a little bit to the left. It's completely up to you how much you want to move it. You can always shift it up and down later if you're not satisfied how it looks, but for now I will go with -180. And different photo will have different effects, so this is not like universal setting for the exposure. Okay, then what I like to do, I like to go with the highlights all the way down and with the whites all the way down, but I want to open shadows and blacks because now it's too close, too dark. Okay, something probably like this looks fine. And also I want to desaturate, a lot of colors presented right now, so I want to go with saturation, something like that, and maybe to boost the vibrance a bit, to adjust the colors, okay, to adjust the saturation between colors. And for now this is it. Okay, now as you can see I have a lot of yellowish and greenish tones, and I want to make everything more like darker green or darker bluish look. So for that I will go to split toning, and I want to add that bluish tone into the highlights a bit and also into the shadows, so shadows and a little bit of a bluish tone. This is cool, so I can just decide maybe around like that. So saturation completely depends on us, but now it's too much saturated. And also there are a lot of blues now and greens, and I want to shift those green tones towards the blues. So how to do that? There are several ways. I can go here to hue and I can shift the greens a little bit so they're more towards the blue, and also I can go and desaturate greens a bit, as you can see, but also I can go all the way down to this calibration tab and go to the greens and shift again towards the blues. As you can see now it's much better, but I don't want to go all the way up, probably something like this. And also I want to desaturate a bit, so this is cool. What I can do with the orangey or yellowish tones, I can shift them too. So as you can see, I can play with these tones, I can shift a little bit to the left, and if I go to the blue hue, if I go to the right, I will make everything more bluish like I want. If I go to the red, I will make it more like purplish magenta, and that's another cool look if we want to achieve. So just play with calibration tab, it's really cool effect here, but I want a little bit to the right and also desaturate a bit because I want to have this desaturation in the photo. Then let's go up and let's go to the saturation tab, and now I want to desaturate some colors. So I want to desaturate yellows too, so see, a bit of yellows, maybe orange. Yeah, see here I have a lot of orange colors and I don't want saturation there, I want to desaturate it like that. And then aqua tones, so a bit, and blues, I want to desaturate those blues, and maybe I can go even here to a global saturation, even do it more, so something like that. If I need to desaturate more, I can go to calibration tab and just go, see, I can just play with these settings here and there, but this is pretty decent. I really love. So you can jump up and down to tweak these effects because even when you tweak a calibration tab, then you're shifting the colors, and then you can go back to hue and saturation to shift the hues a little bit. Maybe I want to shift the hue on the yellows. Now there is no effect because I already desaturated that, etc. But just for your information, you can jump up and down to tweak those settings. All right, now we'll go to luminance, and I want to boost some tones to make them brighter. So I want to go with the yellows and make the yellows a bit brighter. You can see those yellows parts of the image. I like to have them brighter rather than darker because now it's a little bit dull look. So a little bit brighter, orange, a little bit brighter. So this part of the deer's back. Greens, I can decide, I can make greens brighter, it's cool, but I can make it even darker to have even more moody look, and I will do that. And also with the blues, I have blues right here, so I can make them darker or brighter. Because they're not a big effect, I will leave it somewhere here. Actually the aqua and the blues, as you can see, the deers around the eyes and mouth, I want to make it brighter, not darker, but brighter. That's cool. And purple and magenta, there is no effect here because there are no these tones, and also red. As you can see, I can move the red, but no effect, so I can leave it at 0, no problem at all. Okay, and now let's go to the curves. And I will just add one dot here, and I just want to make a bit of washed out black tones, just a bit up, and I can go with this a bit down, so something like this to make a different effect. Let me see, this looks cool, maybe to bring this up. And now let me show before and after, really big result, great effect. So before and after, I really like it. Now is the time to double check everything, if you like it or not. Maybe I want to add more contrast or less contrast, depends whatever I want to do. Maybe I want to add a texture a bit, and maybe haze it. Maybe I want to haze it like this, or maybe I want to dehaze it. Depends on what kind of look you're searching for. Maybe I want to haze it for a -5, and maybe a clarity for just 5, and that's it. And let me see if I want maybe darker or brighter. Maybe I will leave it like that, and this looks cool for now. Maybe less blue, maybe this is too much, so I'll go a little bit less. And also the highlights, let me see, highlights, it's too much. So this looks cool. And now when you're satisfied with your look, you can save this as a preset. We will do more tweaking here, but now is the time to save it as a preset. You will understand why it's not good to save it later. Just trust me. Okay, now when you're finished, you can go to preset tab, choose the presets where you want to save it, and just click plus, create preset, and I will name it dark moody look. Okay. And that's it. So I have my dark moody look right here. If I reset everything, go back to start, I can just go here, press this, and like that, I have my effect apply on the image. So the next step is to go to local adjustments. And because local adjustments are different for each image, for every image, you don't want to save those in a preset because you will have a lot of pain later. So now when you have a preset, you can go to local adjustments, and for example, you can go to Radial Filter and just make it like that. In the center, I want to make the center brighter. So I will go right here, just double tap on all these to reset it. And I want to make center brighter. But as you can see, I'm making everything but the center, so I need to go here to invert it. So just click that, and this is cool. So I just want this a bit brighter and to open the shadows there. Okay, maybe it's too much, like that. And I can feather this. So this is without feathering, this is with a feathering. I want to feather it, maybe make it a bit bigger, like this. This is cool. And let me see, before and after. Yeah, I really like it. All right, then what I want to do, I want to go to a brush. So I can go to a brush and basically I want to dodge some parts of the image. If I'm doing this in Photoshop, I would finish with everything, making a preset, and that's it. And then I would go out of the camera raw. I could do everything in a camera raw like I will do here in Lightroom, but I would rather go out of the camera raw and just use regular dodging and burning techniques to add some kind of brightness, to dodge some parts of the image and maybe to darker other parts of the image, because I have more control there. I personally like to do it that way, but because this is more like a Lightroom tutorial, I will do everything here. Okay, so I'm choosing a brush. Just a second. Okay, here I need to choose a brush, and then what I like to do, I like to make everything a little bit brighter with exposure, open shadows, maybe boost the highlights a bit, and that's it for now. And I want to zoom this like that. And here I can change the size of a brush. As you can see, I can change the feather, but I like to have a feather, and I can change the density. I like to have a lower density value to add the effect a little bit slowly, and flow. So probably flow a little bit lower too. So this is cool. And now I can change the brush size and just paint the effect here. Basically I'm dodging, making things brighter. Just want to add more effects here. If this is not too bright for you, you can always boost the exposure. You can see, you can do always that later, but okay, I'm just making these things a bit brighter. All right, and here I want to make this part brighter too. And let's unzoom it, let's see. This looks cool. All right, let's make it even brighter. Just to see the effect. The effect is cool. You can boost the highlights too and whites a bit. This looks pretty nice. Also, I can go here to gradient filter, so I can add a bit of that here on the down part of the image, because now it's too bright for me here. I want to make this even darker, so I can just move it to the left, maybe move it a little bit up, or like this and move it up. So this is cool, and that's basically it. I can go back like this. You see, go all the way down to vignetting. I can add a bit of vignetting and feather this. So this is cool. Let me show you before and after. Before and after, really cool, nice look. If you want to make even more dodging, you can go back to the brush right here. You can go to existing effect that you did, and you can make it even brighter, or you can just go with a new effect. You can create new and just make a brush bigger and just add even more brightness to this deer or whatever elements you have in your own photos. But this is pretty cool. I will say okay here by clicking again to the brush, and let me see before and after. Before and after, I really love this effect. Right guys, that's basically it. In case you're doing that in Photoshop, you can follow exactly the same steps. Let me just show you really quickly. In case you have the same image or whatever image you want, you can go to filter, camera raw filter, in case you're doing with the JPEGs. If you're doing raw photos, editing raw photos, just put a raw in Photoshop, the camera raw will open automatically. So it's exactly the same. You need to go down with this and do all the steps again like I did, etc. So you have just those tabs right here. So split toning like I did, and everything, all the same steps that I did in Lightroom, you can do exactly the same here and play with all these settings to get the effect. Here you have a brush, so you can dodge and burn with this. You have a radial tool, you have a graduated tool, etc. And when you're finished, you can press OK. You will have the effect. But as I already said, I like to go with the curves when I create a global effect. This is just a quick showing you how you can do this in Photoshop. I would do like dodge and burn with the curves like I regularly do, and do these kind of things, etc., because I have more control and I really love to do that. So that's basically it, guys, for this episode. I really hope that you like it and that you learn something new, fun and useful that you can use later on your own images. In case you have any questions regarding to this episode, just please leave me down there in the comment section below. I will be glad to answer it. Also, guys, if you appreciate this episode, if you like this content, just press the like button down below, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe in case you're not already, and also ring that bell to get notified about all the future episodes. And also, guys, if you want to help me to make this channel even bigger and better, you can do it by visiting my Patreon page. The link is down there in the description, and you can help me in that way. Of course, it's your choice, no stress about that. Have fun, experiment, and see you guys in my next fun tutorial. Bye bye.